Officially open the meeting. I'll turn it over to the county administrator to explain how people can join us via WebEx or through the phone.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. As the President has indicated, this business meeting is being conducted at 555 Bay Road in Dover. It's also being available via the internet through the WebEx platform. And for those guests who may be joining us over the internet, just a few brief instructions. We ask that you keep your devices on mute throughout the meeting, and at the appropriate times where there's opportunity for public comment, if you wish to address any matter that is before Levy Court for public comment, we'll ask if you're using a mobile phone to press *3 on your phone, and that will raise an electronic hand, and we'll be able to see you and invite you into the meeting room. Similarly, if you're on a desktop or laptop computer, the WebEx platform has a raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen, and you can activate that at the appropriate time, and we'll recognize you and invite you into the room. If you're speaking on one of the items that is a public hearing item, all guests speaking before proceeding with comments will be sworn in by the county attorney, and we'll prompt all of our guests at the appropriate time as to the oath of before speaking. Also, this meeting, a business meeting of Levy Court, is being conducted under the direction of the rules of procedure adopted by Levy Court for business meetings, as well as the Mason's Rules of Order. Mr. President, back to you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll bring the business meeting to order, and I'll ask Commissioner Howell if he'll lead us in the invocation, Commissioner Hall in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Maston lead us in the, Commissioner Sweeney will lead us in the moment of silence for our troops and first responders. This time, I'd like to ask everyone to rise, please.
Heavenly Father, we recognize your presence, and we ask you to ensure that all of our proceedings are glorifying to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our military, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty protecting and fighting for our freedoms. We also honor all first responders and medical staff who have succumbed to COVID-19 virus complications contracted through close interaction with infected patients, losing their lives caring for others. As of today, more than 1,001,000 Americans nationwide, 2,970 in Delaware, and 656 in Kent County have lost their lives to COVID. Please remember all these individuals who died in the line of duty, as well as keeping their families. I have a list of 6 military members who died in a training accident in, I believe, Southern California. Electronics technician First Class Ryan DeCorte from Lubbock, Texas. Captain John Sachs from Placer, California. Marine Nathan E. Carlson from Machesney Park, Illinois. Captain Nicholas Losapio from Kensington, New Hampshire. Corporal Seth Rasmussen from Johnson, Wyoming. Lance Corporal Evan Strickland from Valencia, New Mexico. Senior Correctional Police Officer Daniel Sienkiewicz from the New Jersey Department of Corrections. Officer Trainee Cody Olafson from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Police Officer Houston Tipping from the Los Angeles Police Department. Officer Adrian Lopez, Senior, White Mountain Apache Tribal Police in Arizona. Deputy Sheriff Thomas Baker III from Nicholas County Sheriff's Department in West Virginia. Police Officer Christopher Ferriello from the Tallahassee Police Department. Senior Investigator Kyle Patterson from the Florida Fish and Wildlife. Police Officer Kenneth Kroom from the Meridian Police Department in Mississippi. Detective Justin Terry from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Nevada. Firefighter Terry Lee Cassidy from the Sparta Township Fire Department in Cromwell, Indiana. Driver Brandon Yeager from the Bethany Volunteer Fire Department in Reedsville, North Carolina, and driver engineer Christopher Allen from the Hollywood Fire Rescue Department in Florida. I also would ask that you keep the family of Deputy First Class Glenn Hilliard, a 16-year member of the Wicomico County Sheriff's Office who was shot and killed Sunday night trying to arrest a fugitive. Deputy Hilliard was 41 years old and married with 3 children, gone way before his time. Please keep him and his family, his children, his wife in your thoughts and prayers tonight, and pray for their continued support during this rough time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. Ms. Tanaka, can we have roll call, please, to determine quorum?
Mr. Angel,
Present.
Mr. Buxton,
Present.
Mr. Hall,
Here.
Mr. Howell,
Here.
Mrs. Maston,
Present.
Mr. Sweeney,
Here.
Mr. Pepper.
Here.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 present.
Thank you. We do have quorum. Need a motion on the adoption of this evening's agenda.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. If there's any questions, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Tonight's agenda has been adopted. Need a motion on consent agenda 22-08.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Unless there's any questions, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Tonight's consent agenda 22-08 has been approved. Moving down to presentations. First item on the agenda is Kent County Medal presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the good fortune of meeting this gentleman who lives in our district, that he's 99 years of age, and he was part of a deception in World War II, of which when I read into the description, everything, but the one thing that was not said, due to he had to sign an agreement from the military when he left 60 years ago that he could not speak or divulge this secret to the public until he received his Congressional Medal in April. So with that being said, Kent County Medal for James Tom Anderson. Whereas James Tom Anderson is a recipient of the Congressional Gold Medal for his service during World War II, and whereas James Tom Anderson was drafted in the U.S. Army at the age of 18 and served in the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops as part of the security and deception operations for the elusive Ghost Army, and whereas James Tom Anderson was a member of a top-secret Army unit in Europe that employed successful camouflage and deceptive tactics such as life-size inflatable equipment representing tanks, jeeps, trucks, and airplanes with fake radio transmissions and sounds effects to fool enemy forces during World War II. And whereas James Tom Anderson is 99 years young and up until COVID-19 pandemic worked for Trader Funeral Home for over 50 years. And whereas James Tom Anderson has been recommended for a Kent County Medal in accordance with the provisions of Kent County Levy Court policy and the requirements thereof, now therefore be it resolved that Kent County Levy Court does hereby recognize, commend, and award James Tom Anderson of Dover, Delaware, with the Kent County Medal for meritorious service on this day, 14th day of June, 2022. And if I can have the commissioners and our county administrator, Mr. Petimage, come down with Mr. Anderson coming forth, please. Meet Mr. Pettimage there, sir. Hey, Tom. Hey, good to see you.
Well, Mr. Anderson, it certainly is a pleasure and a privilege to be able to present this to you tonight. You know, you've done things that we only see on TV and movies and that kind of thing. And so it's really, like I said, a privilege to have you here tonight, and we'd like to congratulate you for receiving this medal. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Angel, who brought this forward to Levy Court.
Well, Tom, we've known each other for a few years, although I did not know anything about your history until I saw and heard what was taking place. And because you are a resident of our county, I think it was very well deserving to bring your name forth, and that's why I put your name in. But also, I hope when I'm 99, I look as good and get around as good as you do. So it's hard to believe. You look like you're more like 65.
Congratulations, Mr. Anderson. And as Mr. Angel says, I hope at 99, I hope I look like you and I hope I get around like you do.
Mr. Anderson, good to see you again. When we had the, yeah. Sorry about that. You're getting multitasked, I think. But what I was going to state is that when you see somebody that wears the WW2 hat, you're standing in front of greatness, and you need to make it a point to go over, and for nothing else, just say hi, and then tell me about your story. And you certainly shared your story. It was a wonderful talk. It was as much about your years in Dover and your location where you lived and your service to the funeral home and others, but I just think that it's a rare time when you get a chance to speak to somebody wearing that hat. And it's our greatest generation. I always tell folks 37 months. When they ask me about World War II, I say 37 months because that's what I heard every Thanksgiving and every Christmas and every Veterans Day. As long as my father was alive, he'd tell that story about the 37 months that he served. So thank you very much. It's a true honor to be in front of you and to have an opportunity to serve, or to present this award. So thank you, sir. And you're going to get a chance to talk, and I know you talk well.
Mr. Anderson, congratulations. When you do get a chance to talk, I just want to know, who do you want to play you in the movie?
Well, we really appreciate all that you've done. It's quite an honor for us to have you here. You know, we don't give out too many of these. And you're recognized and appreciated, and congratulations.
Yep, just want to say thanks so much for your service to our nation. It's greatly appreciated.
So Tommy, it's a great opportunity to honor you tonight. Congratulations. Tom, also, I know Tom personally on a different level. He's the head usher at Wesley United Methodist Church. Probably one of the most humble people you ever meet, but he's always there. Steph, you can count on Tom because he will be there. He'll be the first one there. And I know anyone in the church will tell you the same thing. You're just a great human being, and we're so honored to have you here tonight. And I think it's really fitting that we're doing this on Flag Day of all days. This is Tom Anderson Day in Kent County, and it's Flag Day in the United States. So congratulations, Tom.
We have a medal here.
This way, sir. It's with great honor that Levy Court presents this medal to you. It's dated for today, and this is something that we do not a lot of, but we definitely like to award it to the people that deserve it. And you are so deserving for the greatest generation that ever gave us our lives, what we do, so we could do the things and be free. And I'm glad to see we have young people here from our Parks and Rec to hear this tonight, because they don't get to hear the things today's world other than the negative. And this is a very positive. So bless you, sir, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Yes. You move, tighten up here, yeah. Yes, sir.
There's your mic right behind you, sir.
You get the mic.
I thank you all for coming tonight. And we weren't allowed to talk to any of our family while we were in the service. And 50 years later, and that takes up a lot of your life. And I want to thank you all again very much.
Mr. Anderson, what was the ghost? What's the Ghost Army mean? What were they real?
Everything in the Ghost Army, besides us that was in the Army, was artificial. People, rubber tanks, rubber trucks, all kinds of equipment was all artificial rubber. When you got ready to put the tanks up, you had to blow them up with air.
Let me ask something. With the enemy, were they fake?
Yeah. They were fake, all right. But you had to try if you were in this outfit that I was in, you could not travel around by yourself. You had to travel in groups because you didn't know who you were talking to. You had no idea. You might have been talking to the generals in the German army. You didn't know that. But you couldn't take the chance.
Amen. God bless you.
And again, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, we're going to stay here. And we'll. Mr. Shepherd, we can turn this over to you momentarily so you can explain what this is all about, and you can identify the ones that we're recognizing tonight, and they can come up and we can all shake their hands.
All right, good evening, Commissioners. Very proud to be in front of you tonight to help present Levy Court's tribute to volunteer coaches who coached in our KYSL, or the Kent Youth Soccer League, which is a program run by your Parks and Recreation, by Caitlin Scheck, your rec program supervisor. This is a very large program for us at Parks and Recreation. This spring we had 420 registrations. We had 43 volunteer coaches in one program this spring. So a huge undertaking by your department, but it could not be done without the parents and the families that sign up, and especially the coaches who dedicate their time on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning, in order to help us get this done. So it's the least that we can do is to give them a little tribute, tell them thank you in front of Levy Court. Hope that they keep coming back and helping us out and continue to make this program a banner program for Parks and Recreation. I guess first what I'll do is I'll go ahead and read the tribute into the record. Then I'm going to read the names of the individuals who are not here. And then I'll call up the individuals who are here so that they can get a tribute and shake your hand and get a picture, okay? All right, so Kent County Levy Court tribute to volunteer coaches, KYSL. On this date, Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, the Levy Court pays tribute to volunteer coaches for the KYSL, having volunteered their time and passion coaching youth soccer through Kent County Parks and Recreation during the spring of 2022. Kent County Parks and Recreation sponsors the Kent Youth Soccer League that services over 400 children and their families in Kent County. Without the help of volunteer coaches, this league would not be possible. The passion for sports and the mentorship of Kent County youth shown by volunteer coaches drives the success and the experience of the participants and families. The Levy Court sincerely appreciates and thanks the volunteer coaches for their outstanding and dedicated service toward making a successful program and for bringing the joy of sports to the children of Kent County. Congratulations on a job well done. So I'll quickly go through the names of those who are not present, and we'll go on with the rest. Jessica Appleby, Anthony Battle, Caroline Carey, Caden Childs, Kyle Koblenz, Brian Cusick, Ken Dixon, Erica Gitow, Guillermo Gomez, David Hake, Marcia Hegg, Mike Langrel, Steph Lobsiger, Marcel Marrier, Clinton Marlowe, Mike McFan, Mike Myers, Bill Miller and Claire Miller, Michelle Mitchell, Brandon Morales, Josie Mosley, Luther Mosley, Brittany Newman, Jessica O'Connor, Steve Pate, Scott Pollock, Marissa Roberts, Matt Rotuno, Allison Shivak, Jeffrey Thompson, Jess Tazinski, Tiffany Tullis, Harmony Tuxword, Ashley Upp, Nando Valena, Patricia Waters. Now I'll introduce those who are here to be tribute. Orlando Ballestas, you can come on up, shake hands. You can stand over by me for a second. Russell Burton. Travis Lockwood. Kofi Kwanzaa. Therese Ridgway. Thank you again, coaches. Hope to see you back in the fall. We can take you and kind of filter you in, and we'll get a one. Caitlin, you can go up there too. Thank you.
Thank you all. Okay, we'll move into public hearings. I'm sorry, we do have 3 introductions tonight. Alan?
Thank you, President Pepper. So we do have 3 new employees introduced to the commissioners. The first 2 will be introduced on behalf of Sheriff Brian Lewis by Chief Deputy Chris White, and he'll be followed by Director of Public Works Diana Galt. Chris?
Good evening. Just wanted to say the Sheriff Lewis had an emergency this evening. He wanted to be in attendance but was unable to make it. Our 2 new employees to the Sheriff's Office are Denise Ham. She started with us on May 23rd of this year. She worked for many years at Brass Sales, and she also worked as a bookkeeper for H&R Block. The recently retired Deputy Warfield, the sheriff, and myself, the first time we met you, we knew you were going to be a great fit for our office, and we were proved right with that. She lives and resides in Commissioner Buxton and Pepper's districts, and she's a great asset to our department. We're glad to have her on board, and I think she can testify to we need the help. So.
Yes.
Do you want to say?
Thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to having a long career with you guys.
Mr. Buxton?
I continue to be on a roll with the hires in my district, and I'm excited to have you on board. So good luck to you.
Yeah, congratulations, and we wish you a long career here. And who's this guy behind you?
And
looks familiar.
And not to be forgotten, our second new hire is Micaiah Barnes, also known as Mac Barnes. He's a deputy sheriff with our office. He started May 23rd of this year. He's worked for decades in security with Sun State Security and other agencies throughout the state. I have to say, I've been with the sheriff's office for 14 years, and I've worked for 4 sheriffs, and it's been an unwritten rule, and I have to say this, that in the past, they've hired nothing but retired police officers. Mac is stellar with his personality, and all of us in this building saw that when he worked securing this building for as long as he did. And when the position opened up, when Deputy Warfield retired, I was not the only one that said he would be an awesome fit for our office, and he's proved to be all that and more. And welcome aboard. We're so grateful to have you here. Exactly what we need. His personality is what we need when we're on the street. We're not law enforcement, and unfortunately, we are the delivery people for the courts, and 99% of the time we're delivering bad news, and his personality is going to keep him safe, make the county shine, and our office shine, and I truly believe that, so congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Howe?
I'd like to thank you for bringing me aboard. I'm happy to be a part of the Kent County family. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you, and I know you're working for a good man, other good people too, and I think you're quite an asset, and we look forward to hearing good things about you.
Yes, sir.
Mac, going to miss you out front. But
I just moved down the hall.
but yeah, you've definitely got a great personality, and it'll take you a long way in that job.
Yes, sir.
Because so many times it is bad news that you're delivering. So I'm sure your personality will help things through that. And your size won't hurt either. So, congratulations, and look forward to having a long career here.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
One more introduction here.
Last but not least. So tonight I'm here to introduce Philip Parsons, who started in the Department of Public Works on May 23rd as a maintenance mechanic 1, and we are very glad to have him on board. Previously, he worked for JBM Petroleum as a tester, Walls Irrigation as a laborer, and prior to that, he worked for Bay Health as a CNA. And he lives in Commissioner Pepper's and Commissioner Buxton's districts. And I invite Philip to say a few words.
I just want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of the Public Works Department. So thank you. That's it.
Eric?
Part of the district?
I believe it's
Where do you live?
Frederica.
Amen.
Frederica.
Let's go. It is Frederica.
Yeah.
You know that. I know. Hey, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Congratulations. You know, you've got a job. The Kent County office that you're working for, without that office, this county would come to a standstill. So you've got a lot of responsibility on you. So thank you. Welcome aboard, and hope you have a long career here.
Yeah, I hope so. It doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
You're good. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Commissioner Angel?
Yes. I need it's my fault. I didn't bring the resolution 3948 to a vote. So I'd like to make a motion that for the Kent County Medal for James Tom Anderson that we just approved. I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
Make a motion that we approve. I'll second that. I'm sorry.
All right, motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston, for Resolution 3948. Any questions on the motion? See none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Resolution 3948 has been approved by Levy Court. Okay, at this time we'll move on to public hearings.
So the public hearing before you tonight on Resolution 3943 is the FY 2023 sewer assessment rolls for the listed districts. The list is similar to the one done the prior year, with the exception of Paris Villa Linden Village. It's been added to the assessment rolls. It shows a rate of $90.25 a quarter, which is $361 a year. Tonight, testimony can be taken in favor of that or against, and you'll be sworn in for that testimony. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Resolution 3943. It is part of a public hearing. At this time, we're going to ask if anyone from the public would like to come forward and testify in favor of Resolution 3943 for all these sewer assessment rolls in Kent County. Anybody in favor? And there's no one online?
That's correct.
Thank you. Anyone opposed? Anyone opposed to Resolution 3943? Now is your opportunity to come forward and testify against it. Anyone opposed? No one. And there's no one online to testify against 3943. That being said, we'll close the public hearing on Resolution 3943, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Maston.
Make a motion that we accept Resolution 3943, fiscal year 2023 sewer assessment rolls for Kent County Sewage Disposal District 1.
Second.
Thank you. A motion was made by Commissioner Maston to approve Resolution 3943, and it was seconded by Commissioner Sweeney. Do you have any questions on the motion? I don't see any. Can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes, reason stated by Ms. Galt.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes, reason stated.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes, reason stated.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes, reason stated.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes, for all reasons stated.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Resolution 3943 has been approved. Commissioner Sweeney advised me he does have a question for Ms. Gold.
Thank you. Ms. Gold, I noticed that Parisville and Linden Village are on the list. When will they start billing? Not in the first quarter, right?
So we haven't completed the sewer construction.
Correct. So even though they're approved, they won't start billing until it's completed.
Complete the sewer, and the folks have to be given an opportunity to connect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda, establishing garbage collection and streetlight districts. Mrs. Maston, Resolution 3928.
Mrs. Gold?
So Resolution 3928 is a resolution establishing Big Oak Garbage Collection District number 188. It contains 49 residential lots. The petition is for 3 services: trash, recyclables, and yard waste. The petitioner is Oak Cap LLC, and they signed for the entire subdivision of those 49 lots. The annual cost for the garbage collection service is expected to be $339 per residence for FY 2023. And that completes the information that I have on that item.
Any questions for Mr. Gold? Seeing none, at this time, we'll open the public hearing on Resolution 3928 and ask anyone in the Levy Court chambers that wishes to testify in favor of Resolution 3928 to please come forward. Anyone in favor, please come forward. Anyone online?
There's no one online at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. We'll take that as no one wants to testify in favor. Anyone in the chambers who wishes to testify against Resolution 3928, please come forward. Anyone who wants to testify against it, please come forward. Anyone online?
There's no one online at this time, Mr. President.
Okay. At this time, we'll close Resolution 3928 and turn over to Mrs. Maston.
I make a motion that we accept Resolution 3928, which establishes Big Oak Garbage Collection District number 188.
Second motion.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Maston, second by Commissioner Angel to approve Resolution 3928. Any questions on the motion? I see any. Can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes, reason stated by Ms. Galt.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes, reason stated.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes, reason stated.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes, reason stated and information supplied by Mr. Gold.
Yes, Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Resolution 3928 has been approved. Next item on the agenda, Resolution 3929. Commissioner Maston.
Mrs. Galt?
Resolution 3929 is a resolution to establish Big Oak Streetlight District number 188. Again, could you add the map? I'm sorry, I forgot that last time. Big Oak Streetlight District number 188 contains 49 lots. The estimated cost for street lighting services for the subdivision is approximately $52.50 per lot. It includes $39 for lighting services plus $13.50 as a Kent County administrative fee. That's based on 9 lots, that's based on 9 lights and 26 lots in Phase 1. As additional lights or additional phases are completed, the cost will be adjusted annually as part of our budget process. That concludes the information that I have for the commissioners tonight.
Thank you. This is another resolution, 3929. It is public hearing. Anyone in the chambers who wishes to testify in favor of resolution 3929, please come forward. Anyone in favor, come forward. Anyone on phone or line?
There's no one online at this time, Mr. President.
Okay, I'll take that as no one online wants to testify in favor. I'll ask at this time, anyone in the Levy Court chambers who wishes to testify against resolution 3929, please come forward. Anyone against, please come forward. Seeing none, anyone online?
No one online at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. We'll take that as no one is opposed. So at this time, we'll close the public hearing on resolution 3929, and I'll turn it over to Mrs. Maston.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Resolution 3929, which establishes Big Oak Street Light District Number 188.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Maston, second by Commissioner Howe to approve resolution 3928. Is there any questions from the commissioners? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes, reason stated by Ms. Galt.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes, reason stated.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes, reason stated.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes, reason stated.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Pepper,
Yes, reason stated and no opposition.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals resolution 3929 has been approved by Levy Court. At this time, we'll close the public hearings. There's no old business, new business. Commissioner Angel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Quick, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Angel. Commissioners, I'm proud to report that we have concluded negotiations with AFSCME Council 81, Local Unit 781, that represents the county paramedics. As you may recall, we briefed the commissioners back last fall about what we thought were the final terms of the agreement. The union did request a few revisions, and we made those very minor revisions per their request, and some wording suggestions that we had as well. The agreement is very similar to the previous agreement, although this one is a 5-year agreement, retroactive to July 1st of 2020. Our negotiations were hindered a bit by COVID, and we actually completed almost all of them, save maybe 1 or 2, virtually, and that perhaps prolonged the process a bit. So staff is prepared to recommend that Levy Court approve the successor collective bargaining agreement included in your packet. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for Mr. Cuellar? Nope. Thank you, Alan. Make a motion to approve. Move to approve the 2022-2025 successor collective bargaining agreement with AFSCME Council 81, local affiliate 781, representing eligible Kent County Emergency Medical Services employees, as recommended, and authorize the president to execute the document on behalf of Levy Court.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Does anyone have any questions, commissioners? Seeing none, at this time, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper,
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals that the AFSCME Council 81, Local 71 collective bargaining agreement that has been approved by Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Alan. Next item, Commissioner Maston, introduction.
Introduction of ordinance LC 22-15, an ordinance to amend ordinance 21-04, the FY 22 annual operating budget of Kent County, Delaware for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, to appropriate funds for sick, vacation payout, paid to employees whom retired during the fiscal year 2022, payment for training, 3 paramedic trainees, and purchase of furniture for the Emergency Medical Services to contribute funding to the Grow America Fund, Incorporated for Economic Development, and to allocate ARPA SLURF funding for public hearing on Tuesday, June 28th at 7 p.m.
Thank you for the introduction. Next item, Commissioner Hall, have appointment to the Board of Adjustment.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have paperwork in front of me, so off the top of my head, I move to approve Usman Sandhu to the appointment to the Board of Adjustment for the 2nd District.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Hall, second by Commissioner Masson to appoint Usman Sandhu to the Board of Adjustment. Any questions? Seeing none, Ms. Tanaka, we have roll call on that, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Usman Sandhu has now been appointed to the Board of Adjustment. Further new business, Mr. Buxton, a reintroduction, ordinance LC 22-11.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reintroduce ordinance LC 22-11. It's an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation in the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code, Volume 2, Chapter 205, Zoning Articles 3, Section 205-8, and Section 205-9, Articles 28, changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000, as amended. Reference application CZ 2204 Gonzalez for public hearing on Tuesday, July 19th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
Thank you for the introduction. Other business, Commissioner Angel, items 1 and 2.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to go into executive session immediately following the business meeting for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for publicly funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation, and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
Okay, there is a motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Buxton. Any questions? Now, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals the issue has passed for executive session. Next item, item number 2, Commissioner Angel.
Move to go into executive session immediately following the committee meetings of June 21st, 2022 for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for a publicly funded capital improvement legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney to have executive session June 21st, 2022. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals the motion passed. Commissioner Angel. Yeah. Say we're going to go into executive session.
We're going into executive session and we'll be returning for a vote on a personnel matter, Mr. President.
Okay. We'll all recess to the executive session, and we will be back shortly.
Anytime after 7:30, so she timed it almost perfectly.
Yeah, I knew. Even if it was like, I'm like, wait a minute, she was okay a second ago.
Somebody left a briefcase and a water bottle.
No, there's a gentleman. Yeah.
He's still here?
Yes, yes. Uh-oh. Are you leaving us? Yes. Good night. Enjoy your time tomorrow, okay? Thank you, thank you.
you're gonna hear something, you can hear it. I gotta do this. Look, I had a yard, it was only executive session, decided to introduce a 4-year contract for an administrator, who I love and support him 1,000% deals. You're not gonna ask me to read something good like that, here's this and that, there's no reason for this to be going down, the way it's going now. So I'm gonna leave. Now, because
Okay, we are back from executive session, and Commissioner Angel, took us out. Turn it back over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to approve the employment agreement for the County Administrator Michael J. Petitmage as prepared and amended this evening by the County Attorney Craig Eliason in conjunction with Personnel Director Alan Cuela, and I further move to authorize and direct the President to execute said employment agreement on behalf of Kent County Levy Court.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none, we have roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
I will not be voting. It is not a reflection on the county administrator at all, because I think he does a fantastic job. It is a reflection on the process, so my position is not to vote.
Mr. Hall?
Hi, similar to Commissioner Buxton, I concur that, the opening conversation was that the county attorney was directed to draw something up that we had not discussed recently, not the terms nor the timeline for review, and a similar thing that happened with Westlake College years ago. I don't appreciate surprises that were contemplated long in advance, so I'll abstain.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 5 yeas, 1 not voting, and 1 abstaining.
Okay, with 5 votes, the motion passed. Information items.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to let Levy Court know that last Wednesday, at the stewardship meeting for the Delaware Founders Insurance Trust, which is our workers' comp group, and we now have 26 members. Our newest member in that group is the town of Smyrna. But those of you who've been around for a while know that the whole concept of a self-insured workers' compensation program was the brainchild of George Wright when he was the executive director for the League of Local Governments. And of course, George is no longer with us, but it was great to see the town of Smyrna join that group. And also on last week, the board of directors of the trust distributed reverse premiums back to the members for doing, good job in terms of managing the fund and also keeping lost time accidents down and claims down. And so I was the recipient on behalf of Levy Court of a check back from the trust for $155,729. And so that's been deposited in the general fund account. And think about if we were still where we were 10 years ago in the private market, we would never see a return premium. So every organization that had been a member for a while got a return premium. The board dispersed $1 million back to its members last week. So I think that's a great success, and we're really pleased and proud to be part of that organization. We're the largest member because we have the largest employee base. Most of the members are smaller towns and cities, mostly in Kent and Sussex County. We do have a few members like Middletown, and town of Newark up in Newcastle County, but great program, and I'm sure George is very happy, smiling down on this and seeing the success that he laid. Thank you.
Yeah, George Wright was a great leader.
Yeah, Mr. President, I had the privilege of serving on the executive board around that time, and my recollection was meeting in the chambers on numerous occasions with a lot of uncertainty and uncharted waters, and the importance couldn't have been overstated in Kent County joining to create the success of the program. So kudos to the members. That's, in this political season, when you talk about, what are some important issues that's hanging up Levy Court? Well, I don't know, but I can tell you there's a lot of good that's come about over the years, and that's a prime example of one that gets kind of undersold. So, well done.
Any other information items? Any public comments? Commissioner comments.
One, I won't be here physically in attendance next week. We'll be on vacation, but I plan to call in. And the other gives me great privilege to introduce to all of you the town of Clayton's newest town council person, Brian Paisley, and he's also probably the youngest to ever join Clayton Town Council. Brian, would you like to stand?
So right back at you, if there's anything we can do as Levy Court or Levy Court Commissioners to help you, please. Our phones are listed, so give us a call.
And Ryan, I need some help as a political science major. Because Lori correctly pointed out something that I haven't done up here. I took the position of not voting. However, Commissioner Howe abstained. Do you know in your thought process if there is a discernible difference? Or are they just wordplay? I can think of no difference. Counsel?
It's not a yes. Neither one is a yes.
All right. I don't plan on doing this anymore, but I just want to get it right the next time.
Mr. Angel.
Yes. I should have done this on information, Mr. President, but we have a DAC meeting Thursday night at Fraser's at 5:30. And then leadership tomorrow at 4 still? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Sweeney.
Just a question, is next week's meeting all committee meetings, just committees?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right, I like Commissioner Maston, I won't be here next week either.
Okay.
Commissioner Howell, when will you not be here?
I'm not going to be here next Tuesday. I wasn't going to announce it because I didn't want everybody to get emotional. But I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, seeing my sister.
Okay. So that means...
So, there's a 67% chance I'll be here next week. So tomorrow, our daughter goes in for surgery on her legs. And so by next week, I'm thinking everything will be fine, stable. We've got it all figured out. Everything's great. But if I'm not here, that will be why.
We will look at the agenda tomorrow for next week and the following week and see if we can combine. So I think that'll work. I mean, we'll just start our abbreviated schedule in June. So.
Because you have leadership, just a suggested topic for future agenda would be an update on ARPA and the extension of the funds for small businesses, for-profit ones, nonprofit, and the suggestion that some of us have talked about regarding a percentage payment to each municipality who received ARPA. I don't need to discuss it today. I would love to hear that the leadership has discussed that and maybe has plans to put it on the agenda. Thanks.
We will. Any other commissioner comments? Just speaking of ARPA, I took the opportunity this past Saturday to visit Hall's Restaurant. They were one of the applicants for ARPA funds. And I was able to present Mike Willihan, the owner, a check for $25,000. And he was extremely pleased and happy that we did that, approved that. It got hung up a little bit, but finally got approved. And I just want to take it and give it to him personally. And he thanked me, told me how much it meant to him by me delivering it to him personally instead of him getting it in the mail. So he said it really made his week. So it was well received. And you know, I frequent Halls quite a bit, and I've been questioned the past several weeks about where the check is and how are they going to get it. And so once I found it was approved, I thought it was necessary to take it to him personally. So, and I was glad I did. And he was very, very appreciative. So, and he also thanked me for the grant that we gave them for the park, to make the park a bigger park for it to be handicapped accessible. He said they're going to close it after Labor Day and start construction of the facility. So he said he was really appreciative of that. So. And I don't know if you all know or not, but he works for the town of Wyoming now also. Mm-hmm. He works in the office there, so he can be an asset to us as well. I told him, don't be afraid to give us a call if you need anything.
One last statement.
Yep, go ahead.
Because it didn't get its appreciation last time, I think. Yes, it was a hot mess, the fire companies and the program that was rolled out. But what was a complete success and a complete turnaround, and kudos to the folks who created it, was the alternate plan. And so if I didn't express that, I should now. That was well done. It works, and great job. I think we can do the same with the next couple things.
Yeah, that worked out great. And, you know, it might take money away from county projects, but it'd give us more money to put it in the community and for other projects, worthwhile projects within the community. So yeah, it worked out great. Sure did. Fire companies, from what I understand, are really appreciative of that. So we'll begin to check out hopefully middle of July. So anything else? Stranger.
Mr. Pettimaj, have we heard back from City of Dover yet for the liaison meeting?
No, we need to coordinate that with them. And I have not heard any further discussion from the city regarding that yet.
I know Mr. Bogarty and we had a discussion that he was going to check with his people, and as I said, you know, we needed to do it too. It's been a while. So, yeah, so, and things are changing there, so we have some interesting topics. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So move, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Buxton. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.